Hello again YouTube, it's Mr. Analytical here, and today I'm going to attempt to show you 10 of my favourite watch faces. For the new Samsung Gear Sport. So I'm sure you guys all know this watch if you're watching this video. So you'll see I've got always on display enabled. Change the watch face, you press and hold on the screen, and then you can select, and to see more of your watch faces at once, if you spin the bezel, lets you pick better. So the first one I want to show you guys is called Bevel Pro. So this is a very simplified, simple watch face. So not much to explain here. The date, Friday 17th November, the time and 24-hour clock, and your battery power. So it's very simple and clean cut watch face, and there you can see it's lovely clear watch face, even with always on display on. You can still see the 14, 13 there. That's it in always on mode now. So that one's called Bevel Pro, and again, as I say, it's just a very simple watch face. So let's have a look at the next one, and it's a nice sort of military style watch face, and it's called Opulence Super Diver 24. Let's take a closer look. So we've got the analog time, and you can see it here in always on mode. It has almost like a glow in the dark effect around the bezel where the hours are. The hour markers are glow in the dark. So if we just look at it again, we've got the power on the left, little icon there which shows you your power indicator. You've got the time in 24 hours. It's also available in 12-hour clock. If you just search for Opulence Super Diver 12, that would be the 12-hour one. We've got over here you've got the day and the date there. So Friday 17th is just hidden by the minute hand. So that's Opulence Super Diver. Let's go and have another look. The next one is called Timeless by Pluto. So you'll see here then the battery power, and it's at just over 50%, you can see there. And then down at the bottom you've got the month, so we're at month 11 of November. So then also down at the bottom here you've got the day, so you can see Friday written there. So that's just a nice watch face if you want something brighter, and just to mix it up a bit. And you can see there in always on display it goes quite dark. It gets rid of the white obviously because it's using a lot of battery power, and what you're left with is, you can see it if you look carefully there very faintly, you've got the outline, but you can still see your hour and your minute hand very clearly. So that's Timeless by Pluto. The next one's called Detector by Liongate, and again this is a yellow watch face. If you can see, the colours maybe aren't just right in the camera, but there's a darker yellow stripe down the middle. And you've got there the time in 24-hour, and you can see in always on mode it's basically black and yellow, but it's quite clear. Maybe the hour and the minute hand could do with being a bit darker. So you can see then your battery percentage dial at the top, just over 50% again, and you've got the date Friday the 17th down there on the bottom right of the digital display. So that one's called Detector by Liongate. So the next one is called LFN Gear Classic, and it's a sort of an old style, almost Casio-like display, and on it there's quite a bit of actual detail, and you can actually interact with this one quite a bit. There's the always on display for it, and you press phone, it brings you into your phone menu, and you press weather, brings you into your weather app. You press on calendar, brings you into the calendar. Press on health, brings you into the S Health app. So that's LFN Gear Classic. So it's just a nice watch face if you're wanting something different, you know, and a bit more like a old style digital. And you can see it almost looks 3D there. The next one is called Black Gear 2. And it's a wee bit like one of the pre-installed watch faces, but I think it's just a wee bit nicer. You can see a nice, like a swirl in the background. And you can see when you rotate your watch, they've been very clever, and the actual reflection rotates around the bezel there, which is very nice, very realistic. So again on this one, when it goes to always on mode, it's like a glow in the dark effect on the hands and on the hour markers. And back in we can see this is your alarm shortcut, so you can see press on there, it sets your alarm. On here you've got your S Health shortcut and straight into exercise and walking. And on the left hand side then you've got the battery percentage, and there's a date on the right hand side. So another nice watch face, and that one I say is called Black Gear 2. This one's called Sazaz Classic, and just so you don't ask me to spell it, but there it's at the top. You can see SZAZS Classic, and it's just a simple watch face. It's quite nice just to be able to see a good clear date and time, your steps, your heart rate, the distance you've walked, the moon cycle, and the date and year. And you can see there in always on mode, it's a basic date and time. So that's, I'm calling it Saz's Classic. The next one's called A Class Gold 24, and I just thought this one was nice because it's like a bit of bling. It's got nice gold studs around each hour marker, and you've got the time and date there. You've got the day, that's it in always on mode there, and you can see when I touch it, it brightens up, but you've got the day marker. And then you've got the battery percentage, and you've a little second hand there, the time's counting 31, 2, 3, 4 as the second hand moves around. Also the time in analog on the bottom dial there, and you press on there, it brings in the calendar, and you press on the battery and it actually shows you the battery as the percentage amount in the center of your screen. So that can be useful just as a quick look, see where your battery's at. So again, that one's called A Class Gold 24. So we're coming now into the top three that I think are really suit the gear sport. The first one is called Future Health, sort of a modern looking watch face. So you can see the always on display just goes to a simple digital 24-hour clock there. But when you actually go in to the watch face, there's quite a bit of detail here. You've got your heart rate at the top, and that brings you straight into the heart rate app, and you can hit measure there and basically see what your heart rate is. If you'd like to see that going on, I can give you a little demo of that. So you'll see the heart rate coming along here. That should give us a reading then in a few seconds, so 55 beats per minute. And you can tag that to say what you were doing at the time. But back to the watch face. So you've got your beats per minute, you've got the time and the calendar there. On the left hand side again you've got the battery percentage, and again they've implemented that if you click on the battery percentage it brings you into that percentage display on your screen, which you can see there at 53%. You've got your steps count down the bottom, so I've just put the watch on for the day, so it's 139 steps, and that gives you the percentage of your target. And then over below the 22 there you'll see your drinking record, and you can hit plus there, so that's handy if you are tracking your water intake. That's a really handy watch face for doing that. And you've got a little walking icon which brings you into the walking app and the S Health app. So that's called Future Health, and I think that's a really good one if you're using this as a sports watch. It's a pretty nice one to have, and it has some useful shortcuts there. So now on the top two, the next one is Digital Tick, and I just think this one is really clean and simple. You've got a little second marker travelling around the bottom, and again 2:23, we're in 12-hour clock mode, and it's November 17th, Friday, and you've got your battery percentage. So again, it's just a simple one there, and you can just see the basic hour. The minute hand could be a bit brighter at the 23 PM there because it's quite fine, but it is in battery saving mode, so you will be able to see it okay. Now I have my battery, or my screen, just to show you, my screen set at brightness 5. If you did increase that by pressing on there, if you had that a bit higher, then your always on display mode would be a wee bit brighter as well, so that's something to bear in mind. So that one's called Digital Tick. So I'll just go to my favourite one now for the sport. I think it's really trendy, and it's called Sportify Lime. I'm just going to turn the brightness down so you can see the colours better there. So hopefully you can see there. You need to really download it for yourself because this is a nicer green. My camera just doesn't seem to pick it up, but it's a nice dark green here, and it goes to like a fluorescent yellow, and it ticks around the second hand, and you can see there you have a nice clear 1424, and you can still see your battery and your heart rate whenever you're in the always on display mode. So tapping on there, we can bring it back from sleep again, and you can click on the heart rate, 55 beats per minute, and it brings you again into the heart rate widget. You can click on your battery percentage, it brings you into your battery widget, and you can click on the steps and it brings you into your step widget. So the watch faces really have come on a lot since the first ones. Whenever I was testing the Gear S3, all these shortcuts are great. So I really put this one at number 1, maybe closely tied with Future Health. So that one's called Sportify Line, and my other favourite one is Future Health. So guys, that was just a quick rundown on some of my top 10 sort of favourite watch faces that I use, and I hope you enjoyed that video. And if you have any questions, or if you guys have your own favourite, drop me a comment below so I can have a look at it, because it's always nice to see what everyone else is using on the watch. And thanks for watching, and chat to you soon. Of course, like and subscribe as usual. Thanks now, bye bye.